Welcome to the channel. So in the last video, I shared that the Shulim Tao version 2021 or S21 is coming soon. And I have opened up a new Facebook group to make it a place so that those of us who is interested and really want to learn can go there and exchange their experience. Now, with this, I have received many messages, many comments, and many chatting with our Wing Chun friends, brothers, sisters around the world. Today, I'd like to share with you the problem of today's Wing Chun in general. We need to upgrade ourselves, or else there is no Wing Chun. Let's not kidding ourselves. This YouTube is not meant to scold at people or to put down people. This YouTube today is to point out what we must not touch, or else you're going to cross the point of no return and you're going to not get anything out of it but Wing Chun vanish into the thin air. So this is based on after I chat and read comments from our Wing Chun brother and sisters and messages and so forth. The first thing is, previously I talked about Reform Wing Chun. And many of our Wing Chun friends messaged me saying that they agree in reform, even though they don't understand what I'm talking about, the receiving. And then some of our Wing Chun friends sent me the video of Wing Chun demonstrations, some by their sifu, some by somebody who they think it is good. And some is in the so-called fighting art, some is internal art, and so forth, so forth. So that's why I want to share this with you. So you know this is how big the problem is. And there is a solution. But if people don't follow the solutions, then you know it is gone, over. The problem of all these friends who message me with agree with reform but do not know what is receiving, and then talking about his sifu, his grandmaster, who is the best fighter, and then send me YouTube on their demonstrations and internal and so forth. Those type of mentality is exactly the villagers' mentality. To be straightforward and broad, which is I'm not intended to put people down, but I just want to point this out. It's people who talk without a clear mind, and people talk things which is they are clueless on. Okay, so if we take a statistic data on these friends who message me, face it, there is no reform. Reform means you have something there. So now you don't have something there because everything they tell me is my sifu say, my grandmaster say, this is my grandmaster's YouTube. I think so, I believe so, but none of those stuff even though they have a good heart, but they don't know what it is. So it's just like you go to a village in ancient China, somewhere else in the rural area, everybody have good heart. They like to share, but they don't know what it is. Now, we don't want to blame people who have good heart, but that education has to be restored or reinstalled, or else when the people don't think straight, nothing will be solved. And all this thinking, this type of thinking is based on 60 years of failed Wing Chun educations. It is a failed education. Serious, by evidence. I'm going to share with you the evidence. Okay. So right now, Wing Chun as a general, let's not even talk about reform. Let's talk about how to fix it because this is broken. If Wing Chun is according to all those friends who message me, then there's no Wing Chun. It is only everybody's 5 cents. They don't even know what is Wing Chun. Okay? Is this serious? So drop those villager mentality. We are not going to reform. We only can do fixing now because your Wing Chun is not function. Okay? So for those of Wing Chun friends who study for years and years or decades, who study some Tai Chi and so forth, and talk about this mind power, everything, everything. One need to be watch out. One don't living in the cave within the village. So you want to face the reality of today? This two list is the list of the like the MMA player. Okay, these two lists. See how is your Wing Chun you practice be able to map into here, be it internal or your techniques. So let's go for it. The first thing is everybody want to talk about internal. So let's step to today's world. Let's live in today's world. Let's ask the question. So in the physical development of today, you will heard muscular endurance, cardiovascular endurance. Power is force multiplied by velocity. Momentum is mass multiplied by velocity. Your maximum heart rate, your VO2 max, which is you need to know your lung volume or capacity, your inhale, exhale intensity, your heart rate variability, your intra-abdominal pressure, your core stability, your pelvis floor handling, the loading in the training load, and the recovery and epoch, which is your oxygen deficit. Now, if you look at today's MMA, the formal training, they know this. At least the coach, they know this. This is sports science. Okay? Now, tell me, where is your mind power here? Where is your spine power here? Which is within this list, the equivalent within this list. Where is your Tantian, your Qi, your whatever magic, whatever your secret internal within this list? Do you know what is this mean? Do you develop what is in this list? Which is in MMA. Okay? So if we keeping talking about there's a chi, the Chinese secret, the mind power, the spine power, which is not even be able to map into this list, you know you are living in the cave. Well, today's training, the comprehensive training, they have this training. So people like Xu Xiaodong, Zhang Weili, and all our MMA player, the top player, they have all this developed. Where are you standing playing your 小林头 for 1 hour with your mind power? You can push people. What? Sorry, your force, your Fa Jing, whatever your Tai Chi Jing, those things are force. And the MMA player play with power. It's measurable. It's trackable, and that power is force multiplied by velocity. Strength. If you get a big guy, you push him, he push you back. Well, those are just strength. Sorry, when it get multiplied by the velocity to come at you, now you see the real deal. Will your muscular endurance be able to handle it? Will your breathing be able to handle it? When people shoot at you with high power, meaning high velocity, repeatably, it's not there standing down there, taking the force or get a guy, a student, you do whatever, the power at him, demonstration. So this is the reality of today's 2021. So what one train, does it have anything to do with this? If not, one don't even know the basic. Let's not talk about internal. Okay? This is the reality. So I'm a bad guy. I'm saying this. People might hate me from here, from Asia. But isn't this your opponent in the MMA develop? You want to talk about internal? This is internal. Now, if you ask me, so Hendrik, your 1850s Wing Chun, will it be able to answer to this question, might into this? Let me tell you, every real Shaolin art, yes, including the short strike, classical of which is mother of the Wing Chun, have all this. It has the handling of all this. No BS, okay? No BS. You can find the equivalent of this in the Shaolin teaching. So as what I said, with the Shaolin teaching is that way, that means your Wing Chun, who is the offspring, of course you inherited this thing. Okay? So this is reality. Now, in terms of fighting handling, the momentum handling, today you have the punches, strike. Of course, the like the Western boxing, you have the jab, your cross, your hook. This is very basic, and many other things from different school or different style. You have the kicks like the Muay Thai, and you can see that different people use it differently, like Kyokushin differently, Taekwondo. You have throw like the judo, the wrestler. You got takedown like BJJ, like if you look at the submissions. So this is the reality. You want to talk about Tan Bong Fok be able to dissolve all this thing? Tell me, where is Tan Bong Fok fit into here? Where is it? All these techniques. Not to mention when we even lost the receiving and sending. We even lost it. And you say, well, Hendrik, you are talking ancient. I'm not talking ancient. Didn't Grandmaster Yip Man 1972 have his interview and saying that there's a receiving and there's sending? So after 50 years, where the world is all this basic? Now, with this physical development, don't know. With this handling, you thinking Tan Bong Fok can do that, my grandmaster can do this, and this can do that, but I have no idea on this. You send me a YouTube, you look at that, compare with our MMA friends, say Xi Xiaodong, Zhang Weili, and all our MMA friends in the West. You know right away, this kind of stuff couldn't handle it. This only demonstrations within the school or playing aggressive, while the MMA is playing real technical. This is real technical. So it's like a General Qi Ji Guang's trained force, the special force with some villager in China. You want to face General Qi Ji Guang's special force? Well, again, you ask me here, and also in the Chinese Kung Fu, do you have this? Read the Kung Fu 1560, General Qi Ji Guang, chapter 14, in details. See whether it covers this in the measure. Maybe it doesn't cover certain part, but for the major part, for the major topic, did it cover that? And it have its uniqueness. So now this is a reality. You want to talk about reform Wing Chun? What do you have to reform? You want to reform, you need something. Movie? Does movie be able to map into this, make equivalent? So I just share with you. This is today, 2021. We know that Shaolin have this. You know that General Qi Shi Guang have this because Shaolin is a derivation of General Qi Ji Guang Ming Dynasty's military. So if you take whatever in the Shaolin temple, they have this. Okay, forget about those Tai Chi this, Tai Chi that, Tai Chi this, okay? Forget about that. Those are just alibi. The same list. You go ask the Tai Chi people. How much did they cover? How much equivalent? Who have developed it? Yet on this, from Xi Xiaodong to Zhang Weili to the MMA player in the West, they developed this. This is a reality. And yet, as what I just mentioned, we don't even know about the receiving. So what to talk? There are many friends who is good. I mean, they are good heart. Yeah, we need to reform this. But I don't understand what is receiving mean. And I will have usually it send me some message like this. I agree this reform, and then you send me this is my Sifu. He is the best fighter in Wing Chun. Blah blah blah. You look into that. Those are exactly villager thinking. Why? This is the basic educations. Let's not talk about who is the best fighter, who beat who, which grandmaster beat which grandmaster. Just talk about this basic. If we cannot even have this basic, you don't have a Wing Chun. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay? So in reality, what I'm trying to do here with many people in the West who like to do is to fix it, to reinstall. But we cannot fix it based on my opinion, my Sifu say, my Sifu way. We need to fix this thing based on ancient, so that you show that to our MMA friend, every one of those in this list have an equivalent. Some we are the ancient Chinese is stronger. Some the ancient Chinese is weaker or missing, and some the today's is weaker and missing. So you need to face the reality. Nobody is perfect, but both can complement each other. That's the reality. So all this villager mentality, reform according to my sifu, forget about it. Okay, your sifu is just your sifu. It doesn't matter who it is. We now is like by law. We look at it by law. We don't look at it by anybody. It's not that we think who is no good, who is good. No, want to see, we want to compare content, and we want to bring back the contents of Wing Chun. If we cannot brought back the contents of Wing Chun within the next 10 years, we don't have Wing Chun anymore. That's how serious it is. Okay? You probably can have ritual, wearing the Chinese pajama type of clothing, uh, uh, mimicking sets, whatever set it is. That's called a ritual, a dance. It's no longer this. Today, this is the requirement in martial arts. We like it or not, this is what it is. And don't say that, oh, the ancient Chinese martial art is very little, it can damage, blah, blah, blah. Get this first. If one not be able to know this, not be able to develop it, and not be able to verify it, what martial art one have beside talk? Are you serious? You want to face these people who train this way? Like I say that the villager want to face the General Chi Chi Guang Special Force. At that time, 460 years ago, even the Japanese pirate who have Japanese warrior in that cannot handle him. Because it's this. They have this. So when is Chinese Kung Fu become this, how to say that? Like a person, a son or a descendant of a billionaire's family now become a beggar. When is it has it already become this? It's belonged to a billionaire's company, a billionaire's family, but now it become a beggar, begging in the street. So there is no reform. There's only to fixing it back, get back to the family, have all of this. Only that way you can start a new volume. And of course, I cannot do all of this. I only can supply, for example, all these books. You have equivalent of the Wing Chun. That's the reason I wrote all this book. So people today be able to read it. This is my 40 years, 40 something years of work, which is I try my best to champion Wing Chun. Because with this book, nobody can say that we don't have this. But if people don't have the clear mind, keep having this villager thinking Tan Bong folk can do all of this, thinking your internal whatever, your spine, whatever, you can handle this. That is either one is daydream or living in the cave. Do not know this is 2020. There's a plane or drone fly in the sky already, and still keeping thinking about really inventing a whale. So this is what I like to share with you. See, again, as what I said at the beginning, villager is good because they have good heart. Modern society, city people is no good sometimes because it's all about calculations of benefit. Villager like to have, love to help. City person will be, I help you this, how much you pay me? So you can see that there's a good thing of the villagers. The issue with villagers is because they don't have educations. So if we have villagers who don't have educations, and we have city people who talk about money for everything they help, and they can create more nonsense just to make money, the entire system collapse. So it is better right now to have villager, educate them. At least they have a pure heart and a good heart. And only with that, we can reinstall the entire thing. Well, is this new? No, it is not new. General Chi Guang, 460 years ago. Look at his army. At the end, he need to get the villager, the strong villager, to be his army for his special force, not city people. 460 years ago and today, there's no difference. There's no difference there. Okay. So this is what I'd like to share with you. This list is real. You cannot sitting down there and playing your 小念头, you thinking that you can fulfill this. You can not sitting down there playing your cheese out, playing your wooden dummy, you think that you can fulfill this, can cover this. And yet, do one know what all this means? Not even to mention that do one have a proficient training on this. And yet, your opponent have a proficient training of every single of this. That's the reality.